Hello. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the joint meeting of the Rotary Club of Makati and the Rotary Club of Makati Premier District, our daughter club. I am Ken Vergano, and I will be your moderator for today. To officially start the meeting, may I call on our presidents, Eddie Galvez for RC Makati and uh, Bobet Vera for RC Makati Premier District to call the meeting to order.
Okay, good evening. Good evening, everybody. On behalf of the Rotary Club of Makati, I call this meeting to order.
Hello. Hello. By the powers vested in me by Rotary International and the Rotary Club of Makati Premier District, I hereby call this meeting to order.
Thank you, President Eddie and Press Bobet. Now may I call on Baby Rotarian Art Villafuerte to deliver the invocation, to be followed by the singing of the national anthem and the RC Makati hymn.
Let us bow our heads in reflection and gratitude. Almighty God, we come together today with grateful hearts, thankful for the gift of fellowship, the wisdom to gather in service, and the wisdom you have bestowed upon each of us. As we explore the transformative power of artificial intelligence in banking and retail, grant us clarity of mind and open hearts. May our discussions be guided by insight and integrity, so that innovation may uplift communities, protect the dignity of all people, and contribute to responsible progress in every industry. Bless this Rotary Club Makati and Rotary Club Makati Premier District Assembly with unity, respect for diverse perspectives, and the wisdom to turn today's dialogue into meaningful action. May our words and efforts honor you and bring benefit to our fellow Filipinos and people across the globe. Guide us to be servants of hope, agents of positive change, and stewards of innovation for the good of all. Amen.
And so that we may commit the four-way test to mind and heart, may I request you to repeat after me. The four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. Is it truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And it should be a resounding yes. Yes, of course. We would like to acknowledge the visiting Rotarians and guests present today. Okay. That's it. Until here? Okay. We would like to acknowledge the visiting Rotarians and guests present today. Our dignitaries, District Governor Reggie Nolido, PDG Tony Kila. Yeah. Please stand so you will be acknowledged. PDG Sid Garcia. For the Anns, First Lady Sue Ann Nolido. Mayet Pascual, guest of Rotarian Nikki Ramos. For the guests, we have Tonino Habana, a prospective member. We have also Perty Montinola. This is a guest of President Eddie and cousin of Ferdy Ordovesa. Joey Macadaeg, friend of President Eddie. We have Lester Kyong, guest of Neil Makashar. Andy Ibarra, guest of President Eddie. George Chua, guest of also of President Eddie. Benji Oliva, guest of President Eddie Galvez. Yes, for sure. We also have guests from the RC Makati Premier District. We have Ken Shaw. Mr. Ken Shaw. Mr. Ken Shaw's there. Ryan Maklang. Mr. Ryan Maklang. Richard Carino from RCM Gems. Freddy Fernandez from Parañaque Midtown. Jamila Gomez from Makati EDSA. Yeah. We have Jay Yogowin. Liping Zeng. We also have Liping Zeng here. Okay. Erin Millward. Please stand to be acknowledged. Eric Manyalak. And lastly, Mateo. Yeah. May I request now our resident singers to lead us in singing our birthday and wedding anniversaries. Sir Andy Manyalak. Welcome song. Okay. Let's do first pala the welcome song. Thank you, everyone. Now it's time to acknowledge our Rotarians and aunts celebrating their birthdays and anniversaries. Greetings to birthday and wedding anniversary. Hold on. The slides are not functioning. Okay. For the birthdays, Rotarians, Brian Liu. Last February 10, we have past President Rene Limhoco. He celebrated his birthday last Feb 11. Is he here? There. Hello, Sir Rene. We have Rick Gindap, last Feb 13. He's not here. Among the Rotary aunts, we have Melanie Lopez, Feb 12. We also have Kat Rufino, celebrated last Feb 13. Tess Ashoche, Feb 16, who will celebrate pala. Yep. For the wedding anniversaries, we have Jojo and Joy Concepcion, Feb 11. Bom and Ami Villatuya, also Feb 11. So happy birthday to the Rotarians and the Rotary aunts. Also, enjoy your wedding anniversaries. Okay, so now we'll go to the singing portion. May I request now our resident singers to lead us in singing our birthday and wedding anniversary song for the celebrants. Our resident singers, please. Okay, so Sir Louis will sing.
Yun. Happy birthday to our celebrators and to the couples with anniversaries. We will have to do this a cappella. Okay. It is your birthday. Let's celebrate this important day. We greet you deep in our hearts, dear. A happy birthday and happy wedding.
Bravo. Thank you for the wonderful singing. Before we proceed to the next segment, may I call on Baby Rotarian Jamian Lai for his classification talk. Mr. Mr. Lai. There he is. Please join us.
Okay. Hi. Dear fellow Rotarians, thank you for the warm welcome. It is truly an honor to be here today. Sorry. Okay, I'll start again. Dear fellow Rotarians, thank you for the warm welcome. It's truly an honor to be here today. My name is Jamian Lai, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to share more about my personal journey and background, and also why joining Rotary is meaningful for me. I grew up in New York City's Chinatown, an immigrant neighborhood defined by hard work, sacrifice, and community. I was incredibly fortunate and blessed to receive scholarships to attend the best schools growing up, including the top prep school in New York, which happens to be the oldest school in America, called Collegiate. And I also earned a scholarship to attend Harvard College later. These opportunities changed my life, and they also gave me some lasting sense of gratitude and a quiet awareness that none of us can succeed alone. Behind every opportunity are people and institutions willing to invest in someone who in someone else's potential. The belief in giving back and lifting others up has stayed with me ever since. So I began my career working at Morgan Stanley's bond department in New York in the late 1990s during the emerging markets debt crisis. I was responsible for covering high risk and distressed markets around the world, including Latin America, like Colombia, Ecuador, Mexico, but also Eastern Europe, like Russia, and in Asia, like the Philippines, where I happened to have my best friend from college come from. So this curiosity led me to move overseas. Over the past 25 years, I've had the privilege of living and working in Korea, Shanghai, Hong Kong, and Manila. For almost 3 decades, I've worked in venture capital and private banking at large international firms such as JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, and UBS, where I served as the head of Philippines market in private banking. Along the way, I've learned that while cultures, languages, and markets may differ, people everywhere care about similar values for stability, opportunity, respect, and a better future for their communities. Today, I work for a European asset management company based in Hong Kong. It focuses on specialized in fixed income and alternative assets, including private markets. And I split my time mainly between Hong Kong and Manila. Living a life across borders has been enriching, but has also reinforced something important. The more global our world becomes, the more vital that strong, values-driven local communities are. Progress doesn't just come from markets or institutions. It comes from people who choose to serve. And what drew me to Rotary is its commitment to service above self. I've always believed that giving back is not just something that we do occasionally, but something we build into our lives. When I learned more about Rotary's work, whether it's supporting education, promoting peace, improving health, or strengthening local communities, I felt an immediate connection. Rotary doesn't just talk about making a difference, it takes action. I was also inspired by the people and grateful that Chito has introduced me to be here. Meeting members of this club, I saw a group of tight-knit individuals from diverse backgrounds, united by a shared purpose to use their time, skills, and resources to make a positive impact. That sense of fellowship and shared responsibility is something that I truly value and want to be a part of. So by joining Rotary, I hope not only to contribute where I can, but also to learn, to grow as a professional, as a leader, and as a member of the community. I'm excited about the opportunity to work alongside all of you on projects that create lasting change. Thank you again for welcoming me. I look forward to getting to know each of you better and to serving together as proud members of Rotary. Thank you.
Thank you, Baby Rotarian Jamie and Lai, for that very inspiring classification talk. We will now proceed with the club function and committee announcements. May we ask if any of our committee chairs or anyone from the audience would like to share an announcement? Gentlemen.
I'd just like to remind everyone that on March 2, we're going to have the Rotary Foundation Gala Night, honoring the donors to the Rotary Foundation. It's going to be held at the Palms Country Club, starting at 6 in the evening. And we will have as our special guest no other than RI Director Jennifer Scott. She is the current director representing our region, of course, including the Philippines. And in the club right now, we have 46 of our members who are already going to be honored because you have given Paul Harris Fellows and above. And we actually have some who have elevated themselves to major donor levels 1 and 2. That being said, considering that we are going to be celebrating our 60th year, I am hoping that we will have at least 60 honorees in our TRF Gala Night from our club. And I think that we can do it. So I'm asking our members who still have not given to the Rotary Foundation this year to please pledge your $1,000 Paul Harris Fellow so that you can be part of the 60 members of our club, 60 and more, I hope, from our club who will be so honored during the TRF Gala Night. So again, March 2 at the Palms Country Club, starting at 6 o'clock. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now at this stage in the program, let's hear from our presidents for their time. Press Eddie.
Well, good evening, everyone. Magandang gabi po. And welcome to our first meeting of February, the month we all associate with love, friendship, and fellowship. Tonight is extra special as we are joined by our friends from our daughter Rotary Club of Makati Premier District. Thank you for partnering with us and bringing an excellent and very timely speaker who will walk us through how AI is transforming banking and retail. We also extend our appreciation to UGP Bobet Vera, my classmate, for making this joint meeting possible. Salamat, Bobet. And since it is the Love Month, allow me to remind everyone of something to look forward to on Tuesday, next week. February 17, we gather at the Manila Polo Club for Valentine's Party. I'm happy to share that we have over 120 members and aunts who have already confirmed. So a lot of lovers in our club, you know. So we're in for a full and lovely evening. Expect fun games, raffle prizes, great music, and dance instructors, and plenty of opportunities to enjoy each other's company. Doors open at 6, and cocktails will start at 5:30. Since this is our first meeting of the month, let's take just a few moments, 7 minutes of your time to look back of what we have accomplished in January. We'll play a video, if you don't mind looking at the screen.
After a brief holiday break, the Rotary Club of Makati wasted no time diving back into action as we kicked off 2026 with purpose, energy, and service. The year began on January 7 with a visit to Philippine Sports Commission Chair Pato Gregorio as we finalized the awardees for the Phyla Youth Sports Personality Awards. This meeting also marked the start of a series of preparations leading up to the highly anticipated Phyla Gala Awards night. On January 16, Fellowship took center stage as Winston and Adet Uy graciously hosted a mini social at their penthouse in BGC. With 32 members and aunts in attendance, the evening celebrated what truly binds the club together: friendship, camaraderie, and shared moments. The spirit of giving continued on January 17 with the continuation of the Last Angel Gift Giving, bringing joy to nearly 100 children in Happy Land of Manila, followed by another outreach at the White Cross Orphanage in San Juan on January 21. On January 22, Club hosted the past president's dinner meeting at our clubhouse, gathering wisdom and experience of past leaders to help shape plans for the upcoming 60th charter anniversary and guide the work of the visioning team. January 23 was the Olympic Handulong for the turnover of a 650,000 peso check, sponsoring tech students in the electromechanical course and supporting their education and training over the next 2 years. Club also visited the CNC lathe machine to see firsthand the impact of the global brand hosted by RC Makati. Over the weekend of January 24 and 25, District Secretary Louie, President Eddie, First Lady Sue Ann, and District Governor Reggie represented the club at the District 3830 mid-year review held at Del Montillo in Tagaytay. January 24 also marked the resumption of AI Academy classes, now entering the final phase focused on employment. This stage, students are developing and presenting AI solutions for 5 partner companies enrolled in the program. Adding to this milestone, RC Makati is proud to announce that the AI Academy has been accepted for presentation at the Rotary International Convention in Taiwan this coming June. Following day, January 25, the last angel gift giving continued at Rotary Host Muntinlupa in Barangay Punanan. The site where RC Makati stands as the sole donor for the construction of 14 homes. On January 27th, during the club's lunch meeting, guest speakers demand Monsignor made a generous personal contribution to support the Academy. In addition to donating the proceeds from his book to the program, from January 27th to 30th, the club entered the most exciting phase of the month, the culmination of the Main Pensionova Youth Leadership Awards. Activities began with St. John's Hotel for the 2025 final finalists, joined by the 2024 grand winner. On January 28th, Island Boot Camp Session 1 set the tone for Rico Segura, then an engaging session on self-leadership, integrating career research on proactive skills and mindset to make the finalists pursue their goals with clarity and intention. Later that afternoon, the finalists toured the Ramon Magsaysay Foundation Museum, guided by Ms. Susan Afan. They gained deeper insight into the foundation's work and the enduring legacy of its awardees. The morning of January 29 was dedicated to the national judging interviews held at the clubhouse. In the afternoon, District Governor Reggie oriented the finalists on the fundamentals of Rotary, who we are, what we stand for, and how we create meaningful impact through service. Final bootcamp session 2 followed, led by Director Roger Ballantes. This high-impact leadership experience centered on 5 core principles, inspired by the legacy of PRI Main Pensionova: integrity, agility, tenacity, resilience, and service above selling. The boot camp concluded with a relaxed closing dinner at Julian's in Pocosyon, a night filled with music, singing, and shared celebration. On January 30th, several RC Makati members attended the meeting of the Rotary Dialysis Center in Batangas, not only to celebrate the milestone, but also to explore the project as a potential model for replication in our discipline for the global grant system. On the same day, Director Powell will be presented at the Global Tech graduation, where RC Makati sponsored scholar Jacqueline Smith graduated as batch valedictorian. The month culminated with the Pilot Gala Awards night at the Manila Polo Club, beginning with a mass, followed by cocktails, and an evening of recognition and inspiration.
Hi, Mom.
Receiving the highest honor as the Pilot 2025 grand winner was Chantal Nicole M. Nieto of Rotary District 3800 from Cayetano Rizal. She is the co-founder of Sustainability PH, an organization empowering professionals across disciplines to lead and implement sustainable change. Nominated by the Rotary Club, Chantal received a 500,000 peso cash prize to further advance her advocacy. Named first runner-up was Pauline Awil of Rotary District 3850 from Apollo Negros Occidental. Completing the top 3 awardees was Herna Francis B. Pitani of Rotary District 3870 from Apollo Islamic Oriental. A special award was also presented to Anora P. Madrid of Rotary District 3810 from Tondo Manel. January 2026 stands as a solemn reminder of our Makati's service, leadership, and impact on lives. Setting the tone for an even more meaningful year ahead.
Okay, thank you. Well, what you saw gives only a glimpse of how remarkable the Phyla Gala Awards night was, with over 200 guests representing Rotary districts from all over the country. We were able to honor our finalists in a way that truly reflected the value of their work and their service to their communities. They were really amazing young men and women. It was also a meaningful evening as we paid tribute to our dear Red Paeng Hechanova. The strong media coverage across social media, print, and television further showed how far the reach of this program has gone. Projects like Phyla define the kind of legacy our club stands for, so I extend my deepest gratitude to everyone who worked tirelessly to make the event a success, most especially Past District Governor Sid Garcia for leading the organizing committee, the Henova family, Raisa, for their continued generosity and support, and all our patrons, sponsors, and volunteers. Maraming salamat po. Last Saturday, I and Director Patrick Parungao and Attorney Boy Arteche had the opportunity also to visit Tondo for the graduation of 30 grade 3 learners under the project Escuela Lakbay. These children who previously struggled with reading and writing, they can read and write, but they don't understand what they're reading and writing. And these are some of them already high school. Have made meaningful progress through the Marunko method and focused writing exercises. This initiative is a flagship project of our Rotary Club of Makati. Meanwhile, our AI Academy, the legacy project for this Rotary year, continues to move forward with inspiration as we near the completion of our first cohort of 70 students. As mentioned, this program will be featured in a breakout session at the RI Convention in Taiwan this June. Just last week, because of his admiration for the project, we were blessed with another 500,000 donation from Stephen Holzinger, a German guy who visited it and observed, and he was just so inspired by the whole thing. On top of the proceeds from his book, he has a photography street book. He will donate all the proceeds to our club of that book. He's selling that book worldwide. At present, our 70 senior high school students are in the final stage of the program. I think this is the employment phase. Yeah, employment phase. And they're developing AI-based solutions for 5 partner companies for our members. Michael, one of your companies is part of it, no? And a few of our members here. Their final pitch graduation will take place on February 28th at 6 p.m. at the RC Makati Clubhouse. I hope you have the time to listen to them and you will be amazed by them. Finally, I would like to remind everyone that this year marks a truly historic occasion for our club, our 60th charter anniversary. We warmly invite you and your aunt to join us on Friday, March 13, 2026 at the Marriott Grand Ballroom in Newport World Resort Pasay City. Cocktails begin at 5:30 and the evening calls for a formal attire. So it's black tie and gown. The program will unfold in 2 parts. The first, we will honor the history of the Club of Makati and the leaders and the past presidents who have guided us through 6 decades of service. The second part will be a 1-hour and 15-minute concert by the Manila Philharmonic Orchestra, featuring orchestral renditions of iconic pop songs from 1960s to the present. I look forward to celebrating this milestone with all of you. Please confirm your attendance early. We're expecting about 400 people from all over. I mean, Taiwan, they're all coming to attend. So please confirm early. So that is all. Again, thank you very much at magandang gabi.
Thank you, President Eddie. Now for the next president, President Bobet Vera.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is UGP Bobat Vera from the Rotary Club of Makati Premier District. But before I continue, I'd like to acknowledge some of our additional guests who just arrived. Derek Exu, please stand up to be acknowledged. And Yesi Solano, please stand up to be acknowledged. All right. Okay, let's continue. Okay, I'll tell a few jokes while they're loading up the slides there. Okay, you like my high school picture? That's my high school picture there. Okay, the first slide is our last club meeting last January, which was well attended by everyone, and it was about heal fast by hacking human nature. Basically, it talked about various nature hacks on how you can keep your youthfulness and your vitality despite your advancing years. So it really helped our senior members. Next meeting, Kurt. Then we had a talk on the girl's best friend, a talk on diamonds, head by Hemant Balodi, our gemologist, our diamond expert from India, which was, of course, well attended mostly by our female members. Next slide, please. And of course, this is a very special occasion when our very own UGP Governor Reggie and First Lady Sue Ann visited us for our governor's visit. I hope we got some passing marks from you, Gov Reggie. Next. Okay. This is a new program we instituted this Rotary year. It's called the Sip, Savor, and Smile series. Basically, the idea is to visit different restaurants, bars, and watering holes to develop more fellowship among our members. And we did the last one at, it's called the Cebuano Food Festival. And we kind of celebrated Sunulog there with our various members. All right. Okay. They look pretty happy and full, so they're okay. And of course, another project attended by myself and PP Raisa Hechanova Posadas, the mid-year review. We bagged a few awards mostly for membership and new membership in the Harry Ruggles Society. Next slide, please. And just last weekend, we celebrated our biggest community outreach program in Barangay Lagadlarin, Lobo, Batangas. This is where we we brought various health services, vital health services, to the barangay. It included our cancer screening bus, the WOW mobile clinic to screen for tuberculosis and cardiovascular diseases. It had a free medical consultation and the free giving of medicines. And it also included blood tests to detect various diseases, and also an eye examination which gave away free eyeglasses. This year we expanded the scope of services we gave to that barangay Lagadlarin. Instead of just limiting it to just medical services, we expanded the scope of services to include a seminar on early child development together with the Knowledge Channel Foundation, and also together with our RRC, the Rotary Community Core of our club, we conducted a seminar on parenting and how to raise their children properly. Next slide, please. Okay, this is the next part of our Six Savor and Smile series. These are our future activities. One is a Japanese dinner. It's probably going to be a post-Valentine dinner because most people are going to be busy this Valentine's week. And it's going to be at this Japanese restaurant, which is owned by the niece of one of our members, Charily Puno. It's just right actually up there, Rockwell. Next slide, please. And this is part of our fellowship program for the committee from our committee on happiness. It's called Dance Night. So the concept is we get to connect, bond with each other with good food, a little booze or a lot of booze depending on how much you drink, and you can dance at the same time. So it's just going to be at the Dance Studio Makati, right? Studio Dance Makati. Next slide, please. And this is another activity of fellowship. It's going to be a Chinatown food tour, followed by a visit to our National Museum. Next slide, please. And this is being still under conceptualization. Last year, we celebrated Diwali festival. I don't know if anybody's familiar with the Indian festival of light called Diwali. We have a large membership of Filipino Indians in our club. So we've made it a tradition to celebrate some Indian festivals. And we plan to celebrate it's called the Holi. And it's going to happen sometime in March, and we're going to celebrate it as well. Next slide, please. And of course, it's summer, guys, to our members. So we're planning a few summer outings, and we're going to do a day trip and some overnight trips depending on the response of various members to the planned itinerary that we're going to draw up for our summer. Next slide, please. Okay. On March 27, we're going to host the fourth leg of our Governor's Cup. And of course, Governor Reggie will be there. Lady Suan, you can go if you want. And I hope the golfers of RCM will be there. Calling you, Michael. Philip, please. Like last year, please attend. Next slide, please. And we're going to reinstitute the program again. We're going to have this program called the Rotarian of the Quarter. So every quarter, based on certain criteria developed by the board and our past presidents, we're going to be choosing a Rotarian who will receive a certificate of appreciation and congratulations, and of course, a small token of our gratitude from the club. Okay? That's it? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Pres Bobet. Moving on to the program, may I call on Rotarian Sharon Fong to introduce our speaker.
Good evening, fellow Rotarians. Good evening, everybody. Let's have a show of hands. Who among you use AI? Some are hesitant, but they see the hands going up, so they kind of want to copy as well. Who among you think that AI can help your business in whatever industry you're in whatever profession you're in? Who among you think that and believe that? Great. So this talk tonight is going to be very relevant to you. Tonight's speaker is someone who doesn't just talk about transformation. He has built it, led it, and invested it across continents. We are very fortunate to have with us Mr. Bien Kiat, a global business leader with over 30 years of experience spanning management consulting, private equity. He began his career as a partner at Carney and Booz Allen, where he led and expanded operations across Asia and Australia, advising multinational corporations and major financial institutions on strategy, growth, and competitive transformation. He later stepped into operational leadership as the CEO of a Southeast Asian conglomerate, so he understands fully well what it takes to run and scale businesses, not just be an advisor. From there, he became the founding managing director of TPG Capital Asia, one of the world's leading private equity firms, overseeing investments across Southeast Asia, Australia, and the Indian subcontinent. Not stopping there, he has founded his own technology company, delivering IT and AI solutions, and served as chairman and vice chairman of 2 NASDAQ listed companies. Academically, this is very impressive. He holds an MBA and MS from Columbia University and graduated with first-class honors in engineering from the University of Birmingham. On a personal note, what makes it very special is that he flew in from Singapore to be with us. Let's give him a big hand. Thank you so much. And he also happens to be the brother-in-law of one of our members in Makati Premier District, Mr. Roy Tulio. Please be recognized, Roy. So Roy made this all possible to convince his brother-in-law to be with us. So tonight, we're not just going to hear about AI theory. We're learning from someone who has applied AI and technology to transform banking, retail, and investment portfolios at scale. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Mr. Bien Kiat.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Sharon. Yeah. Yeah. Give me a second. I need to turn on my computer. Yeah. You have to be on. Stay in front. Watching it. Is it on? Yeah, but put it to presentation format. Yeah. Why is it so small? It's bigger. Yeah. Good evening. Good evening to all of you. Can you hear me? First, I'm indeed very honored to be in the presence of such influential people as you. But I just want to tell you that I'm married to a Filipina, Roy's sister, and it just happens that President Eddie has known my wife's family for over 50 years, right? You've been to the house to play. And I also happen to have known Bobet Vera for 30 years. I had the privilege of being invited to his home. So it was quite a coincidence. So all my children are half Filipina, and I have 8 grandchildren now. Okay. I just want to say a few disclaimers. I'm not a technical person. I'm talking about AI from the business point of view, And so if you have any questions on the technical side, I'll probably avoid it. So let me get started. Okay. I'll just spend a few minutes on primer on AI. Then I'll talk about the company that I'm involved with called AI Transcend. And then talk about the retail sector and the kind of AI solutions that could be helpful, and then share with you the banking sector. So this is from our famous comedian, Rowan Atkinson. He says that the two challenges facing our world today is natural stupidity and artificial intelligence. So he's trying to say that all of us are naturally stupid and any intelligence we have is all artificial. Okay, so this is just a quick primer, right? The existing AI can be broken up into 4 different segments. And the biggest segment today is machine learning. Machine learning has the ability to predict outcomes and automates decisions from all the data that it analyzes. And it is the biggest market today. Most of the people are using machine learning and it's been around for the last 5-10 years. Then you hear about deep learning, which processes unstructured data. And then you have Gen AI, generative AI, which is what most people talk about, which generates text, images, codes. And then now the process, AI is now moving towards agentic AI, which means that it can actually make decisions on its own based on rules and models. So if you look at the chart, today's market, the largest market is in machine learning, and deep learning is a bit smaller. But if you look at machine learning today, it's about 760 billion, growing to about 3.7 trillion. Deep learning is a bit behind, 265 million, growing to 1.3 trillion. And generative AI is growing from a smaller base, and agentic AI is growing from a smaller base. Yeah. So that's the segments of AI and how it is progressing. These are the layers of AI today. When people talk about AI, there are actually 4 major layers. The layer at the bottom is the infrastructure, which is the data centers, the computers, the chips that's providing the basic infrastructure to AI. The next level is the foundation model that understands language, images, patterns, and the orchestration layer, the third layer, connects the models and memory tools into usable windows. And then what we are all familiar with are the application layer, which are the user-facing applications solving real tasks and using artificial intelligence. So these are like ChatGPT, DeepSeek, etc., etc. So can I ask you today, how many of you use ChatGPT on a regular basis? Fantastic. So most of the people in this room is already using ChatGPT. But what I'm trying to share with you today is that ChatGPT is the most general purpose AI. There are, in fact, many specialized AI applications and software available. So this is the infrastructure layer, right? It's got chip providers, memory storage providers, network providers, system builders, cloud providers, infrastructure specialists, infra tooling providers. So pretty complex even within the infrastructure. Then on the foundation layer, you have the language models, speech models, vision models, and code models. But today, the most sophisticated are what we call the multi-modal models, which combines all the 4 above to give you an integrated approach, which enables, so most people are using LLM, large language models, but in fact, we are moving already to speech models, vision models, code models, and mainly multimodal models.
Then the orchestration layer, which connects everything, is reasoning, planning, memory, tool use, and the multimodal routing, which I talked about. Then, of course, you have the application layer, which is very, very busy today. Very, very busy. You have the general purpose assistants, which is what we all have thought of, know about, like ChatGPT, DeepSeek. But in fact, there are many, many other specialized models, like writing and content, legal and enterprise, coding, developers. A lot of developers which have hundreds of people now can cut down to only a small number because they can make use of application models to help them develop these applications. And then you have the design and productivity applications. You have the customer engagement applications. Then you have the enterprise solution. Enterprise solution would be helping companies to solve problems using AI solutions. So this would be people like Accenture, Cognizant, IBM, and AI Transcend is the company that I represent, is in this segment. Yeah. And if any of you want some of this information, I'd be happy to provide to you. So let me just introduce AI Transcend. Sorry to rush because I'm only given half an hour, because if I were to talk through this, it would take at least an hour. So AI Transcend is a Singapore-based company. Objective is to empower organizations to strengthen its competitive advantage, enhance customer engagement, provide precision targeting and marketing, reduce operational costs, and increase your market share. We are partners and collaborators with the largest enterprise AI company in China called Fourth Paradigm. They have over 1,200 data scientists and employees. They generate about 700 million of revenues, and they are listed on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange with a 35 billion market cap. So we are collaborating with them, and their key people, a large group of them who are experienced in the retail and banking industry, have left to join AI Transcend in our Singapore company because we want to serve Southeast Asia. We want to leverage on the advanced AI applications in China and bring them to Southeast Asia. Even though we have, and these people have international backgrounds from IBM, Google, SAP, and not just the Chinese company alone. And even though we have many industry expertise, we are focusing on retail and the banking sector. These are some of the selected clients that our team has worked on in the retail sector for Uniqlo, Starbucks, Pizza Hut, Miniso, Richmond, Family Mart. And then in the banking sector, we have been working with the 4 largest banks in China, ICBC, ABC, CCB, and Bank of China. But I don't know if you're aware, they happen to be the number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4 largest banks in the world today by way of assets. And JP Morgan, whom we think is very large, is actually number 5 in the world. And so these banks are, in fact, our partners. We have served them in China, and they have also become shareholders. Another bank that we're working with a lot is China Merchant Bank, which I will share a little case study about later. So let me just talk about the retail sector. Before I start that, can I have a show of hands? How many of you are involved in the retail sector in Philippines? What do I mean by retail sector is I would include FMCG, food and beverage, which would be restaurants, coffee chains, supermarket chains, convenience stores, fashion. Can I have a show of hands of who of you are involved in the retail business in Philippines? Okay, so at least I'm talking about a subject that could be relevant to you. So in the retail sector, how do we use AI to help the retail sector? Revenue enhancement. Okay, if in the fast food business, all the fast, especially in China in the last 5 years, are struggling to survive. And I think the competition is also being felt in Philippines today, because when they do campaigns, it's too general. There's no ability to focus, and you're not sure all your efforts can be targeted enough, and you don't know whether it's got any impact. So what we do is we have done a very detailed segmentation of the customer base, and we know from the data, we know precisely what each customer segment wants. So a recent a young person versus a retiree have different needs and behavior. So we use the data, we analyze the data, and we are able to target products and services to them. And the results have been significant improvement in revenues and profits. So this is an example of what the team has been doing with KFC in China. When someone goes at 8 a.m. in the morning and you open your app, the company already knows your profile, what is your behavior, and they can predict your intentions. And they put in the probability, maybe 35% of the time when you come at 8:30, you're going to buy coffee, and maybe 20% of the time breakfast. So then they also process how they're going to cross-sell and upsell to you. So they are using all these AI data to process, and then they test it. So today they test this promotion with you. It doesn't work. Tomorrow they'll test another promotion. So that's how they have become very effective. And also by doing personalized marketing, you are able to provide products and services that are more targeted to your needs. Because even for coffee chains and QSRs, the market is becoming more and more competitive, and your competitors are trying to take over your customers. So the important thing is to build loyalty and to get customers to keep coming back. So the key in our approach is personalized and targeted marketing, drawing upon data. A lot of data that we are analyzing will tell us what the customer is behaving, what their preferences are, and what their tastes are. And then from there, we are able to promote the product for them in the right way. And as a result, the benefits have been significant. Another area is AI training. People like you who run retail businesses or department stores or big restaurants, we all run into human resource problems, hiring thousands of people, and your employees are leaving. There's huge turnover. Training is a big problem. So AI can in fact help. And what we do is we use the AI to mimic the best trainer that you can find, mimic his style and all that. And we use training like role playing to train different functions within your company. And then we also monitor their performance, and we give them feedback, and we keep providing them continuous training. So in this way, the humans do not have to follow up all the time, but AI can provide the training tailored after the best trainer that you can find. And as a result, you can save a lot on human resource and get better results and better trained employees. That has enabled us to save our costs by almost 50% of companies in terms of people management and training. If you're running a restaurant or a department store or a shopping chain, you have to deal with huge numbers of people and stores in different locations. And how do you control quality? How do you control quality? So this AI is able to use this technique to do anomaly detection. And typically the quality falls when your experienced managers leave you, right? If you have an experienced manager who knows how to manage your branches, they will know how to fix all the problems. But the problem is these people get poached by your competitors. So then you have inexperienced people. So we are able to develop a system to track performance and management in a branch in remote areas, like your headquarters is here in Manila, but what happens out in Davao, you really have to depend on another human being to manage. And if he's not doing a good job, you only find out maybe 2 months or 3 months or 4 months later. But with AI training systems where you have sensors, you have feedback, you will be able to know immediately where things are going wrong and you can fix it immediately. Intelligent marketing, again, understanding what customers need and having a very focused way of targeting your customers. And supply chain in a FMCG business, in a restaurant business, this is a common thing. And because it is a very supply chain and you have weather changes, you have change of demand, AI is able to get you the information very quickly so that you can plan your inventory and prevent stockouts, and then also prevent loss of sales, right? If there's a typhoon coming, suddenly the entire supermarket, everybody buys off everything, you know, and especially the toilet paper, everything is gone, right? So the AI can predict in a weather change what is going to happen, and you immediately stock up so there's no loss of revenue. So no loss of revenue means increased profitability. Voice of customer analysis is another area where AI can track the social media. So if you're running a restaurant, what are the public and customers saying about your business? Are they unhappy? Are they happy? What's the problem? So we are able to track this information very quickly and give feedback to top management within a day and enable you to make corrective action or remedial action very, very quickly. So let me give you a few examples of some of the clients that our people have been working with. Yum China has 18,000 stores in China, and they are present in 2,500 cities. So you can imagine their revenues is tens of billions. And they managed to transform their customers to move them to digital from 55% 6 or 7 years, 5 years back to 93%. This means that they will know precisely what the customer is doing. They can get the profile, the behavior, their transactions, they know their needs, and they can analyze them, and they can predict what is going to happen, and they can promote the right kind of products to them. And can you imagine in China, what do people love to eat? Noodles and rice, right? In Philippines, it's rice. And yet, a Western product like KFC and Pizza Hut, they have become very successful despite the fact that there is not a natural cuisine to them. And this is mainly due to that they are a very advanced technology company that understands what their customers want, and they know how to target and fulfill their requirements. So the systems include the super app, which combines ordering, loyalty, coupons, payments on all one platform. And then they have We are also using AI to help them in operations control, like location management, store management, guidance, performance insights. And then you have AI to help them in labor scheduling, inventory monitoring, food safety checks, real-time resolution. So bottom line, 30% cost reduction and 15% increase in revenues. Another client, I'm sure all of you are familiar with Watsons. It is actually the world's largest health and beauty chain in the world. Believe it or not, they're owned by the billionaire Li Ching. 16,900 stores globally, and I think quite a few in Philippines. Huge revenue base. Now, we were working with them on various AI applications, but if there's anything I'm going to leave with you today, the most important thing I want to say is that they discovered that if you are doing offline business, the online applications is very important, right? It helps you to do the marketing, increases the customer lifetime value. And the key for them is not to rely on public domain, but to focus on private domain, meaning finding ways to build your own customer base because it's more sticky. And then once they're more sticky, they keep them on board by gamifying their applications, making it fun for them to earn points, to increase loyalty, and then of course the supply chain operations. Starbucks in China, believe it or not, is one of the biggest operations, but they are now facing tremendous competition from the Chinese players, and they are facing a lot of threat. And in the work that our team has done with them, they found that the coupons that they had were issuing were inefficient, not targeted. Customers received offers they wouldn't use. So it's a waste. It's a waste of effort. So the AI effort that we did enabled us to predict who will buy and who should get the coupon. And then they measure the effectiveness and ability. And bottom line, we ran hundreds of experiments to make it more, to test the product, to see which works and which doesn't work. So these are some of the benefits having AI to help you in the retail sector. Okay, I'm told that I only have 10 minutes left, so I'm going to now jump into banking and finance. All the banks in the world are using AI now, right? So I don't need to go into it. In the interest of time, let me go to the case examples. Okay. Now, in China, all the major banks in China, which include the 4 largest banks in the world that I showed you earlier, and China Merchant Bank, they have been eaten alive by technology companies in China. China has traditionally been more backward. So I would say that 30 years ago, China was more backward than Philippines. But in the last 10 years, they have caught up and exceeded in terms of technology sophistication, even more advanced than the US. Why? It's because of the technology companies. The technology companies like Alibaba, Tencent, ByteDance have, even though they started in e-commerce, all of them have moved into finance. And because they have this mobile app and they're using AI, it has become very smart in identifying and understanding consumer patterns. And they have been able to take significant share away from the banks. So the banks in China, even though they are huge, have lost their shirts, companies, and therefore in the last 5, 8, 9 years, banks have to respond. And that's where it came in to help them sort of compete against the technology companies and stop the loss of market share. So, for example, for China Merchant Bank, which is not a small bank, right? US 2.3 trillion. And we help them grow their business from AUM of 2.8 trillion to AUM of 16 trillion. So essentially about 400 billion to about 2,300 trillion in a matter of 10 years. And how we did that is to take market share away from the other banks, the biggest banks, which are not very efficient, and to win market share back. And what we did is stage one, to build the data. I think most of us who want to go into the AI, we first have to fix the data in our organization and make sure that the data is properly labeled and segmentized. So that's what we did. And then the next stage is data learning, where we built intelligent marketing platforms and segment the customer groups into 30, 40 segments, ranging from young graduates to couples that are spending a lot of money on children, to billionaires, to retirees. All these segments have different behavior and needs in banking. And so what we did is we understood exactly from these billions and billions of data and segment them so that we have targeted marketing approach for them. So then we move towards stage 3, which is real-time marketing. And now they are into predictive AI, where AI is able to predict customer needs and then real-time segmentation and continually optimizing their campaigns. So AI enables you, every time you develop a new product, to test it in many regions and do testing hundreds of times. Every time you launch a product in the finance sector, you don't know the results until 3 to 6 months later. But here we can test it hundreds of times using AI. So this is the example of China in banking, the precision marketing, where again, we talk about how we segment the millions of customers in the bank, understand their behavior, and then we have very targeted precision marketing for each 30 customer segments. This is the process in which we've done it. So for example, for customer segment 1, which AUM between 50,000 to 500,000, we will So the key is how to retain these customers. AI has the ability to understand based on the transaction it has, and
point where for our non-confidential information, I will like just spin up an agent to do my work for me instead of reading it through myself. I'd like to ask you, what do you think the holy grail of AI and finance, both in consumer banking and like buy side, like private equity and distressed this?
Okay, that's it? That's the question?
Yeah, like what do you think the most the holy grail of AI in both consumer banking, but also buy side in both PE and like distressed debt would be?
Right. Thank you. Well, first, Eddie, you should have invited him to speak instead of me, because he's a real AI expert. Anyway, I think the whole grail is that as AI becomes more and more sophisticated and advanced, it's moving towards AI. And today, to me, I think down the road, the numbers hit count can come down very, very significantly. Do AI unless all your data is harmonized and unified. And he says, I have one credit card product, I have one loan product, I have, multiple products, but they all have different account numbers, and you can't identify the particular client. So they need to standardize and clean up the data. So I think for banks, once they get their data sorted out and their act together, I think AI can really provide them with tremendous benefit, and it can actually, things can actually go much faster. For example, if you call your banks today to ask questions, most of us are frustrated because we are waiting on the phone for hours. You don't have this data, or they have to go to another database to find it. But with AI, they can actually extract the data much faster and give you answers to complicated questions in a much shorter period of time, because they can drill down into different databases to collect the information, do the calculation, and provide the answers to you. And humans just cannot do that. It will take much longer to do that. So, but today, the call centers that you have in when your customer calls is a very superficial thing where you're only asking questions, and the moment it gets more complicated, they'll tell you, oh, we have to come back to you. And then you still have to wait. So I think that's answer in the commercial bank. I think the PE area and the buy side area is a little bit more complex, but I think over time, I think agentic AI can also cut the need for a lot more people. And I think, unfortunately, the casualties are the young graduates for the first 5 to 10 years, because they're basically doing data crunching, doing data research, market research, collecting data, which AI can now do. You still need the experienced bankers who have the judgment and the experience to make the decisions. But the junior people, a large chunk of them may go away. Yes, sir.
Actually, I'd like to take off from there. No? The big fear of a lot of people in relation to AI is really it's affected the labor sector. And in your experience adopting AI in many of these businesses, has it really affected the number of employees in a firm, in a company? And in addition to that, if you are now a new grad entering rank and file level, then what do you have to do able to survive this influx of AI now?
Okay, I think you had two or three questions in that same question. First is it true that headcount will be reduced? And I believe so. And the countries that are going to suffer most would be Philippines and India, because you have the largest call centers in the world. And call centers which are manned by humans can now be replaced by AI bots. And AI bots can do a better job, extract information much faster, and give you the right answer much faster. But can we get there tomorrow? No, because it takes a lot more sophisticated data within the institution such that the data is accurate, harmonized, unified, so that AI can extract the right data and provide the information. What can graduates do? I think young graduates have to, number one, have to work much harder, and they have to use AI to help them get more productive. So when I tell my young associates in the past, do this, do that, I just get to the point, says, run this by ChatGPT. And then after that, you add further value to it. So they have to find ways to add more value to ChatGPT and these things. If not, you don't have a Yes, sir.
Mr. Tan, thank you for being here tonight, doing this talk. My name is Notsky. I am a software engineer, and don't worry, I'm not going to ask some technical questions, as you said. I just want to pick your brain with the economy, geopolitics, and social issues. So there's a social component there. So what happens if 90% of people lose their jobs, right? Do you think there's going to be some sort of UBI? You know, like a lot of tech leaders are even talking about it, like Sam Altman, for example, Elon Musk. Governments are also interested in that. Like Finland, they've been doing tests. So what is your opinion on how we are, you know, like moving? Like what does the data say regarding this?
Thank you for the question. I don't think that we will get to a point where you lose 80% of the people, because unfortunately, like pilots, you know, manning the kitchen, all this will robots. Robots is to have a major impact in the food processing sector. This is some based on the report that I have read. Food processing in the kitchens, in agriculture. A lot of robots can work 24 hours a day. Humans cannot. So in the future, all that is going to happen. But I feel that as AI becomes more prevalent, things are just going to get more and more sophisticated. So you still need people to do it. It's just like when we move from, you know, the slide rule, calculators to spreadsheet, we thought, well, you don't need all these analysts anymore or financial analysts anymore, but you still need, because people are doing more sophisticated things. But AI is real. It is going to reduce the need for junior people that are only doing processing without the judgment factor. And AI will still need another 5-10 years to get to a very sophisticated level. So I don't think there'll be a 90% reduction for now. But it's something that you need to do. If you don't, the others are going to move ahead of you.
Mr. Tan, thank you so much for the very informative talk. My question is, with AI that's getting smarter by the second, it's getting to be more knowledgeable. Is there still such a thing as personal data security? Because they seem to know everything about us, right?
Yes, it is an issue. And that is why in the US, the progress in terms of applications in the AI sector has been slower than China. They have spent a lot more money in fundamental research in the US in AI and have made a lot more progress. A lot more money has gone into it, but they are all hampered by personal data protection, keeping data private. But in China, they are much more open. They share data openly. So China has the benefit of a lot more data that they can tap on from different sources. And that's why the application industry has grown so quickly in China. So yes, personal protection in place. No doubt about it. So it's like you have, the thieves will get smarter, then the cops will have to get smarter, and the thieves will then find a way to get past the cops, and then the cops will have to get smarter. So it's going to be that kind of progress over time. Thank you.
Hi, I have a question. So, I'm in the communications industry, and AI is used in many applications. May I have your opinion on, the use of AI versus the authenticity of communication and relationships?
That's a very tough question. I think that you saw in the application layer, in the communication marketing, there are many, many applications now that are being used. And so if you're in that sector and you're not using it, you're losing out. So I think bottom line, everybody will be using it, but then at the end, it still boils down to your creativity. It simply improves your productivity. Instead of taking a week to get something done, you can, rattle a bunch of things to ChatGPT, and using multimodal, applications, it can give you within hours, but they don't have the creativity. The creativity will still come from you. So the humans is still important. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
Great talk. Thank you. My question is, let's say I have a company or I have a family business that I want to help out. And as someone who is in the Gen Z, obviously I play around with different AI systems and models, from content creation to language learning, all that stuff. And I've been able to use it to help the business. But obviously I'm not professional compared to your company. And so how would like we be able to, make use of it in our companies nowadays? Do we hire someone? Do we train someone to learn that? What do you recommend?
I think you can train yourself to do some of these things, but in truth, AI applications will generally help the largest companies, largest banks, largest telcos like PLDT, Globe, big banks like BDO, because inherently they have billions and billions of data to work on. But if you're running a small business, there's a limit to what enterprise AI can do for you. So in that area, you will just focus on using general applications like ChatGPT or DeepSeek, to improve your productivity. But unless you are a very large corporation with billions of data, it's not easy to use these sophisticated applications.
Thank you.
Hello, I would like to ask a question about AI. And my question to you, based on your personal experience, is where do you think AI creates the most defensible competitive advantage for small businesses today? And where is it being commoditized?
Yeah, it's a very difficult question to answer because you have to figure out what industry you are in, right? And every industry now has different applications that you can use. So if you're in the shipping industry, you can use certain AI apps. If you're in mining, you can use certain, apps. If you're in agriculture, so AI is being used in different ways. If you're in agriculture, a lot of people are using drones to scan the plantation and to figure out what is the state of the plantation and to take corrective action very quickly on a daily basis, things like that. So you have to understand what exactly is, you have to figure out your own industry and what apps can be used to help you.
All right, thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Any more questions from the audience?
No more questions? Yeah.
Hi, my name is Fernando. I'm an undergraduate student taking up data science and management information systems at the Asian Institute of Management. And I just want to ask specifically from what was flashed earlier in the slides, in the banking and finance sector. So I just want to ask, since machine learning is able to predict generative AI is itself, like ChatGPT or ChatGPT Plus, is already capable enough to be able to do this at the exact same level of machine learning?
I believe that ChatGPT is different from machine learning. As I showed earlier, ChatGPT is more on the application layer, and machine learning is more running data to look at what is available. So it's looking at what you have today, but it doesn't have the ability to predict what is going to happen in the future. And even if you use ChatGPT, it's asking questions of what is available today based on data. ChatGPT can only help based on the available data. It cannot make any predictions. Yeah. Okay?
Also, sorry, I have another question. So specifically for machine learning, what language do you think is typically used for machine learning? Like, should I use Python? Should I use C++?
Sorry, as I qualified myself, maybe some of our AI experts in the room can answer that question. I won't go into the technical aspects. Thank you. Any other? Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, may I have some response from our two presidents?
Thank you very much, Kiat. It's one of the most well-attended meetings we've had so far. And I guess it's because of the charisma and expertise of the speaker, right, Kiat? And the subject matter. Let's give him one more big round of applause. Can you please step over here? As a sign of our appreciation, Kiat, we have a mangrove tree planting project in Luzon, in Lobo, Batangas. Are you familiar with the mangrove trees? They're very good for the environment.
mangrove is so important, and there's so many benefits. You can use it to grow fingerlings. All the baby fish are grown there, and they protect the land from tsunamis.
Yes, right, precisely. So we have a mangrove tree project in Lobo, Batangas. It's right near the coast, so you're familiar. And we actually planted a seedling in your name, in your honor. So so it's you see, it's growing already. Has your name right there. Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very nice talk. Thank you.
I will treasure it very much. Thank you, Bobet.
Okay, and for our club, again, thank you for giving us your wonderful insights tonight. Thank you. And on a topic that obviously affects how we live, it affects how we make decisions nowadays. That's why in our AI Academy, a lot of the focus really on ethics, ethical use of AI. So on behalf of our club, I also want to give you, we have a reef bud project in Narvacan, Ilocos Sur. So one reef bud will be planted in your name. Okay, so
Thank
if you happen to go diving there, you're going to see your name in one of the reef buds.
I have to go there.
And
Yeah.
also, while you're not so busy, enjoy a bottle of wine.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So it looks like I have to make a trip to all these interesting places now. And I have to go scuba diving to go and see the reef, and I have to go and visit the mangrove. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. On behalf of the Rotary Club of Makati, meeting adjourned.
On behalf of the Rotary Club of Makati Premier District, I hereby adjourn this meeting.
Hello, there's gonna be a raffle. Let's look at the raffle result. Who's gonna win the prize? The wheel is spinning.
By the way, this is for a bottle of Macallan. There's a raffle. Sino yun? Who? Mike Carmen, are you here? Nako, no. Wala. Oh, roll again. Roll again. Patrick. Oh, Philip Malyari. Where's the bottle? Yan.